Okay, I think we're good to go then. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today for this webinar. We're going to be talking today about the topic of enrolment, so online enrolment for new students, and then just getting you set up and started for the best way possible for your time at Middlesex. So my name is David Galani. I'm the Head of Student Engagement and Advocacy here at Middlesex University. And then I'm also joined by two of our brilliant student ambassadors. So we're joined today by, first of all, Masha. Just introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Masa. I'm a master's student from Iran. I'm currently doing my dissertation in biomedical sciences, specializing in medical micro. Nice to meet you all.
Fantastic. Thanks, Masha. And also Nicole.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Nicole. I'm doing master's in law. I'm also writing a dissertation on diplomacy. So later I'll tell you more about myself.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, both. So yeah, the webinar in whole will last for about 60 minutes. We'll do a quick presentation just to kind of talk through some of the information, and then we'll have plenty of time after that for a Q&A, so you can ask any questions that you've got, and we'll do our best to answer them. If you'd like to ask a question, you can just type them into the chat along the side of the call, and then we'll come back to those questions at the end of the session. This webinar is being recorded so that we can share the recording and presentation slides with you in a follow-up email in the next day or two. So that's everything to get started. Let's kick off with the presentation. So first of all, just to give a bit of context. So as I said, I head up the student engagement and advocacy team. What that means is we have this wonderful team at Middlesex, which is entirely dedicated to helping our students get the right information through our communications channels. We run lots of wonderful and colourful events and engagement programs. And ultimately, we're here to try and make sure that you can make the most of your experience with us as part of what we call Team MDX. So helping you to feel part of the community and just get the most out of your time at university. There are a few things I'm going to run through today. So I'm going to kind of just start going through bits of information. And as I said, we'll then be able to cover any questions you've got about it at the end of the presentation. So first of all, I wanted to talk through some of the stuff you just need to check off your checklist to get started as a new student at Middlesex. So here are some of the key things that we need you to do before you actually arrive at the university. First of all, there is this thing called enrolment. Every university does it. It's essentially an online form where you put in all of your details and just confirm to actually being a student at university. It's kind of like signing the final contract before you buy a car or something, which kind of just gives you all the details around what's expected of you as a student and what you're committing to. That opens on Wednesday, the 1st of September, and you can do it all online. Before then, you will have received login details via email of how you actually log in and complete it. So you'll be given a IT user ID and also a password, which allows you to log into your Middlesex account. And I'll show you a bit later in the presentation how exactly you can do that. And I think Masha and Nicole are also going to kind of share from their experience, like what the process was like for them. As part of enrolment, kind of a thing which goes alongside that is your ID check. This now can also happen online, and it's a form you fill out where you upload your documentation, which confirms who you are. Obviously need to know that it's you who's confirming themselves as a student at the university. So you need to do both of those things before you get started. The third bullet point here is around you setting your password. So you're going to get an email which gives you your password for your account at Middlesex, and it's going to be a very long password with lots of different characters in it. What we recommend is that you change it to a password that you'll remember yourself and is unique to you. That's just a way to make sure that your account is more secure, because it means that it's a password that only you know because you've chosen it. In the email that we send you about your password, we give you lots of good bits of advice about how to keep your password safe. And it's a lot of basic things, and they're like, not sharing it with friends, not writing it down anywhere obvious, or kind of writing it in a note stock on your phone that isn't saved or locked or whatever. So that's an important thing to do. Also, before you actually arrive, it's good to plan ahead for when you're going to need to be attending your program induction events. So I'll go into this in a bit more detail a little bit later, but once you've got your login details, you can find your full welcome schedule, either within what we call My UNIHUB, which is the student portal online for all students to use, or within MDXAPP, which is the mobile app dedicated for current students at the university. As part of enrolment, you will also kind of have to pay any fees that are due. So kind of for your course, all that information will be provided for you. And enrolment is then kind of when you commit to paying the fees relevant for your course. And finally, and I'll talk about this a little bit more later on as well, but once you've done that, you'll then have access to your own university email account. It's really useful to have that because there are lots of different discount schemes or websites or groups across the whole world that you'll now have access to because you're a member of a university, which is a really good perk, which I think a lot of students don't recognize as much. So just by having an email address that ends in .ac.uk, which is what all university email addresses end in the UK, means you'll have access to them. Your email is also really important to access regularly because it's how your lecturers and other university staff will be communicating with you. So it's important that you check it regularly so you don't miss out on anything important. When it comes to your welcome week and your program induction itself, most of them are going to take place between the week of Monday the 20th to Friday the 24th of September. It will be in the week before that if you're a student who's on an education or a healthcare program, but for most of the subjects, it's within this one main week. It's really, really important that you go along to the online sessions as part of your program induction because this is your chance to meet the tutors who are part of your course, and they'll be telling you basically how all of your program is going to run. So they'll give you information about your kind of structure of your different modules. They'll give you information about the handbook that has like all of the assessments and exams and coursework that you'll have to submit as part of the course. And they'll also, give you an opportunity to meet new friends as part of your course. You'll meet all the other students who are on the same program as you, so that you can start to make friends and find people that you can, build your network with, go on socials with, kind of join student groups and societies, or just work with when you've got group work, project work, or someone to ask, if you don't understand something in a lecture. It's then really helpful to have other students in your program that you can just check if they understood what was going on as well. All of the details for your program induction schedule can be found within either the places I mentioned before. So either the student portal, My UniHub, which I'll go into more detail around how you access that later, or MDXAPP, the student mobile app. So those are the big key things that we need you to do. Next, I'm going to go into a few extra things which we're organising, which we really encourage you to get involved with because they'll help you get more out of your time as a student at Middlesex. So the first is what we call the Ready for Anything program. It's this wonderful array of events, both online. There are some on campus, but obviously you might not be able to attend them if you're still in your home country right now. And we're running them all the way through the summer. So we share this presentation with you afterwards so you can get a hyperlink for it. But essentially on the main UniHub page, on the main student website page, there's a big button right there for kind of accessing the Ready for Anything program. And there are activities we're running where you can meet other new students before term starts, information about how we're going to support you in your well-being and your mental health, events and activities around learning study skills. So, getting more confident with things like numeracy or maths or academic writing and, how to write an essay, all of those things. We're running them now so that when term starts, you're already feeling super confident and that you've got everything that you need to get started. That's why we call it Ready for Anything. So we really encourage you to get involved in that. The second thing is a program completely dedicated to all of the international students as part of the university. So that runs from the week of Monday the 13th of September through Friday the 17th. And in that week, most of the activities are online at that point because we know that not every student is going to be able to have got to the UK yet. So we want to make sure it's accessible to everyone. But then we're going to specifically run more in-person events, trips and activities and socials throughout the first term. So by looking onto the program now, it's a way to make sure you're told about all that information as it goes on all the way up to the Christmas break. So it's basically a one-stop shop of a program for everything that we find international students ask us year after year about life in the UK. You'll have other current students who are international students as part of that program volunteering or working as part of the events to help guide you. You'll have chances to meet other new international students from all over the world. We run things like the British Tea Party, where you get a chance to kind of experience what a very kind of like upper class tea party looks like, and everyone like wears nice dresses and there's little sandwiches and tea and everything, all fun stuff like that. We also do some icebreakers so that you can, find an easier way to get to know students who you might think you have nothing in common with because they're from a whole different part of the world to you, but actually you realize you've got stuff in common, and lots of other stuff all there just to kind of like get you excited and meeting other new students. So that's the second big thing that we recommend you get involved with. And as I said, what we'll do is after we've done this presentation, I'll do a quick little, almost like a tour of how you use the student website UniHub, and I'll just show you where you go to find the information about, for example, international orientation. It's all very easy to find. And also within this presentation, I've hyperlinked the images. So when we share this with you afterwards, you can just click on this to go right to the relevant page for you. So what I'm going to talk about next, well, actually, there's one more kind of advantage thing I wanted to share. This is something quite new, actually. So it's a partnership that we've got between an external company called MOVIDO with Middlesex University, and then also the Students' Union at the university. And it's essentially a company who provide what they call a UK starter pack. And we've got a deal with them, so they're giving discounted kind of packs for only Middlesex students. As you can see from this slide, they offer a wide range of support based on the things that you might need. So it might be that you're really needing advice on finding a place to live. It might be that actually transport around London is something you need support with. It might be your phone or getting to your halls of accommodation from the airport. Whatever it is, you can just click on the things that you need from the service, and then they'll be able to kind of show you a little pack of support they can offer. Note that there's a little promo code there in the bottom of this tab. That's the one you use to get the discounts for a Middlesex only student. So that's something you introduced just this year. Oh, sorry, if you've just joined, can you pop yourself on mute so that you're not interrupting? That would be fantastic. Thanks, everyone. There we go. I think we've got that one there. Okay, so I'm going to keep running through with more things to share with you. So first of all, there's a few things I wanted to talk about in terms of what it's like to actually be a Middlesex student. So here are some things that we expect from you, which we don't assume that you're naturally going to know before you come to the UK or come to university. Some of these things might be similar to what you had when you were a student in school, but some of them might be differently. So I won't go through all of these in detail because we will share the presentation with you afterwards, but I'll just pick out a few key ones. So first of all, there is a lot more expectation on you at university to be what we call independent. It's up to you to kind of decide how you're going to use your time, how you're going to study independently. And that's why it's really important to start developing what we call time management skills so that you can build your schedule, work out when you want to be on campus for attending lectures, etc., how you're going to use the library in between those sessions to kind of do your own study work and further reading around a topic. And overall, it's up to you how much effort you put in and how much you choose to engage. The university is always going to be here to support you. We have loads of fantastic ways that we try and help get the most out of you so that you can fulfill your potential. But I always think that university is quite like a gym membership in that, getting the membership itself does nothing for you. You're not going to get ripped or get huge muscles if you just have a gym membership. It's all about how much time you put into that membership, how often you go to the gym, how much you kind of make out of it, how smart you are about your training program. It's exactly the same with university. There's loads of resources, support, and other opportunities that will be given to you, but you're only going to get out of it how much you put in. So that's like one big overall point. I suppose the other ones are just around courtesy. When you're attending lectures, whether they be in person or online, it's really important that you arrive before the class starts so that you're not walking in and interrupting everyone else's learning. It's also really important that when you're in the lecture, you don't talk with other students that are around you. There are some big lecture theatres that we have on our amazing campus where you might have 150, 200 students in a room. If all of them are having little conversations, no one's going to be doing any learning, and that makes the whole thing pointless. So it's really important that when you're in those learning spaces, you treat others with respect, you listen to the academic at the front of the class who's teaching you and don't talk over them. One of the final things I just took you on this slide here is the importance of understanding plagiarism. So essentially that means copying someone else's work and pretending that it's your own. So that could come in a lot of different forms, and the university has a great course online which we have dedicated to academic integrity. which you can complete in your own time to learn more about what this actually means. But it is an important thing, and it does get checked for when you're doing your assessments. If you submit something where you've copied and pasted it from someone else or part of another student or a website, we have a system that will pick that up, and then actually it means that you could fail that module because you've plagiarized it, you've taken it from someone else. So it's really important you learn about this. It's a very important thing we have in the UK for universities, and not all other countries necessarily approach in the same way. So that's why it's just important to familiarize yourself with it. The other things in terms of expectations I wanted to share is around, because of how we're kind of responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. There are a lot of things that we're doing as a university to keep campus safe, to make sure that we can teach people in person, to make sure that all of our students, staff, and people within the local community that we work with are looked after and can be healthy. But because of that, there are some things we need from you, things that we expect from you, things we expect you to do so that you can help keep our wider community safe. All of those things are listed here. And if you ever have any questions about them, then please do get in touch, because it's really important that you know how to look after yourself and those around you. In the UK, we strongly encourage all of our students and staff to get vaccinated. And that is possible for international students to do as well if you haven't already been vaccinated in your home country. And generally, before you come to campus, we recommend that you take a home COVID test that you can complete really easily wherever you're living, in halls, in private rented accommodation, etc. And you can order these to get delivered to you straight to your home in little packs of 7 of them so that you can complete them whenever you need to. We recommend generally doing that twice a week before you come to campus, just to make sure that you've tested negative before you come onto campus. If you do ever test positive, then there's also a team as part of the student website where you can contact them and tell us so that we can get support out to you in whatever way that might be needed. I won't go through everything else here. As again, I said, the information is on the UNIHUB website for more detail, but I thought that was just important to share. And we want all of you to feel safe, to know that there's lots that we're doing as a university to make our campus be a secure place where all students and staff can work and feel confident in doing so. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to some of the digital resources that we have and where you go for information as a student. So I'm going to talk through a couple of our big platforms that we have that I've already referenced earlier in this presentation. So first of all is UNIHUB, which is your main student website. Within that, it has basically all the information you'll need as a student. It lists the events that we're organising, announcements or news for any updates, pages for new students, pages about support services. Everything is on there. Everything that I've talked about so far in this presentation is on UNIHUB. And as I said, I'll do a little bit of a guided tour after we've finished our presentation about the main pages so that you can see how you can find them. Also, within UNIHUB, there is a place where you can log in with your student ID and password that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, and it accesses what we call My UNIHUB, which is essentially just the back end of UNIHUB where all of your personalized information is. So that's where you can find your timetable, your student email, access to all of your learning resources, everything which basically you need to log in so that we can give it just to you as a student. There's also this brilliant functionality we have on the website where you can, on the little right-hand side, there's a button called Chat with Us. And if you're ever not sure about something, if you don't know where to go to find information, if you're struggling, if you need some support, if you just like to try and make more of your time at the university, and just develop yourself more, you can click on that Chat with Us button and you come through to our team, which we call UniHelp. It's basically the one-stop shop of places to go if you've ever got questions as a student. And then you can just type your questions straight into the live chat functionality and someone will help you with it. The second of the digital resources that I want to talk about is the MDXAPP. This is a fantastic kind of everything in one place mobile app that you can download either for Android or for iPhone, for iOS. And in there, it's going to have your student email, your timetable. You can check into your classes within the app as well. So kind of, so you can log your attendance. It can all be done within there. Accessing your library account, basically everything that you need to do as a student, you can get within the MDXAPP. If you just search for Middlesex University or MDXAPP within either of the app stores, you can find it and download it to your phone. You'll need to log into the app again with your student user ID and your password, which, as I mentioned, will have been kind of shown to you at the they'll be emailed to you before this point once you've met all of your offer conditions, which I think everyone here has. I'm not exactly sure of that, but yeah, basically once you've met your offer conditions, that's when you get sent your login details for My UniHub and MDXAPP. So I think that's everything I wanted to show from my side. So what I'm going to do now is pass over, first of all, to Masha, who's going to talk a bit more about her experience as a student ambassador. And Masha, when you want me to go forward on the PowerPoint presentation, just let me know.
Okay, thank you. Hi again, everyone. As I told you before, I'm.
Oh, you're a little bit quiet, Masha. Is there any way you could speak a bit louder, perhaps?
Is it better now?
Yeah, that's a bit better. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. As I told you before, I'm a international master's student from Iran. So my enrollment was completely online as yours would be. And since I moved here in the middle of the pandemic, every other thing, even though my classes and lab sessions were online as well. So David, could you please move to my next slide? So first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about the enrollment. As David mentioned, you need your enrollment to access your timetables. So that's the exact time of your classes, and you need that to activate your email so that your program leader and lecturers can be in touch with you. And you also can access your reading list on your library account. That is basically your textbooks that your program leader and other lecturers have suggested for you. So as I mentioned before, you have to do it on online on My UniHub. So this is the first page that you come across when you try to log into My UniHub. What you do need is your IT user ID and your student ID. You already know your student ID starts with M and a few other numbers, and your IT user is your initials followed by 2 or 3 other numbers. You will get these through your emails, but I remember I couldn't find my IT user ID, so I had to contact the admissions office and ask them for help, but they are always responsive, and don't worry about that. You just get it. And after that, there's a direct link when you log in. It's big and clear. You cannot miss it. Don't worry. And every other instruction is followed through that link. Even the payment is online. I guess it was through Western Union. I don't remember clearly. You can attend your induction sessions without enrollment, but it is advised for you to enroll beforehand, because honestly, it will just make more sense to you, because you will have an idea what your program leader is talking about. And so yeah, this link is a checklist for you that you can follow step by step, and it just makes it easier. One other thing is I remember that I was worried about my visa, because my visa process took longer than usual due to COVID, and I wasn't sure if I was even going to get a visa. And I was a little bit worried to pay the tuition fee and pay fees for accommodations, because I'm staying in a student accommodation, and then not getting a visa. But the team, the Middlesex team, made sure that I'm comfortable, and I know that if I don't get my visa, the fees will be either refundable or referable for the next term. So that's it for my first slide. Could you please move to the next? So yeah, other things that you can do after your enrollment. I mentioned the induction session before. That's of course pretty important, but you have to complete your ID check as well. That's online. You have to upload a certain photo. The instructions are online, and your visa, after you get it, you have to upload that as well. And your email will be activated after 24 hours, I guess. And the other thing is you can access My Learning. So My Learning is the place that you have all the details about your modules, and your assignment links, Dropbox for your assignments will be there, and you can explore around them before your term starts. Another thing is that if you want to open a student account in the UK, you can request the required letter from Middlesex through your UNIHUB portal. And yeah, I already mentioned the textbooks, and you can see your financial status. That is every payment that you have made for your accommodation and tuitions. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you have a great experience as I did.
That's brilliant. Thanks very much, Masha. And then up next, I think we've got a few slides from Nicole. So I'll hand over to you to talk through your bits.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Masha and David, for the information. I think I'll be repeating a few points, but then I'll try to say it very in a very easy way so that everyone understands the process of enrolling. So I'm actually from Russia, and currently I'm getting my master's in law. But previously, I've been studying at a Middlesex University for like 5 years now, because I started with foundation program in Dubai branch. Then I did my bachelor's degree in law, also in Dubai branch. And only last year I moved to London, and now I started my master's degree. And unfortunately, last year everything was online. But hopefully this year for you guys, they said it's going to be more mixed schedule. So you'll get, hopefully your sessions, the lectures will still be online, but the seminars might be on campus, so you get to actually interact with each other. Next slide, please. So I made a small short checklist. A few points have been mentioned by Maksha and David. And also I wanted to thank David for saying about the MOVIDO starter pack. It seems very useful, because when I arrived to the United Kingdom, I didn't have much support regarding the airport pickup, about SIM cards. I had no idea where to get my SIM card from. So even housing searching support, this is very great, because I also struggled a bit with finding a suitable apartment, because I arrived to the United Kingdom with my mother. So we were not able to stay in the Middlesex accommodation. We had to search for a house which would be suitable for 2 of us. So I guess Middlesex handles this as well now. So my small checklist is always check your emails. This is just my tip for throughout the year, because before university starts, during the university year, all the time you get important emails about everything, so you shouldn't miss anything. So just check it all the time. That's just a very important tip from me. Second, as it has already been mentioned, get enrolled. This is a very simple process. It actually takes about 5 minutes. All you have to do is just log in, check your details, which states your name, your current address, your address in your home country, maybe a few other questions about yourself. So basically it takes 5 minutes just to get enrolled. So there's nothing to worry about. It's a very, very simple process. So once you get enrolled, you get to explore the UNIHUB page. It's very interesting, because you actually get to see your schedule for the first time. You get to see your modules, the ones you enrolled for. You get to see some of the books. You can scroll through your books, because they might be already online. You can see the program you'll be studying throughout the year. You get to explore the library online. So it's very fun process, especially if you're new to Middlesex University and you're excited about everything. So this is a fun time to explore Middlesex page. Then you get to switch from your personal from your personal email account to Middlesex account. So all your future emails regarding university will always be sent to the Middlesex University email. So whenever you are participating in any Middlesex events, or if you are emailing your professors, always use your Middlesex email account. You can forget about your previous one. Your old one, your personal one, stays for your personal stuff. Then my 5th point is ID check. It's also a very simple process. Once you get your visa, or once you get your British card, the residence permission, you can just upload it to Middlesex and your photos. So it takes a few minutes as well. Paying your fees. So usually always I used to pay with my credit card, or I used to pay with my debit card. This was always the simplest process for me because I'm used to paying with my credit card. So you enter the details, it's very simple. And this, we all know how to pay with your credit card online, this simple process. But a few months ago, I had some issues with paying with my debit card. I don't know why, it wasn't displaying for me properly. And I tried the second option, which Middlesex offers. You can pay by phone. So you have to dial the phone number which is given on Middlesex page, and then you call, and then on the phone call you answer a few questions about your debit card. You tell your name, you tell the sum that you're supposed to, the sum that you want to pay, and it worked for me much better and even faster than entering everything online. So just explore the page. It's very simple. So if you have some issues maybe paying online, try paying by phone. It works as well. Attend induction day. Well, some of you have been asking whether it is actually necessary to attend the induction day, but yes, I recommend doing it because it's actually fun. That's the day when you get to meet everyone. That's the day when you get to see the university, that I believe, or that's the day when you get to know more about the university. It's just a very fun day. It's a very interesting day because we're all excited about our new step in life. So why not just do it? It's very fun. 8 is registering for your optional modules. Not all of you have it, but some, or maybe you get it in the second term, but maybe you get it in the first term. Sometimes you get a choice between a few modules and you have to register the one you prefer more. But actually, I guess this usually comes in the second term of the year. Yeah, creating a WhatsApp group with your program mates, with your classmates. This comes after you have met them, of course, after you have met your mentor, after this, and you start interacting with each other. And through WhatsApp group, you actually get the most updated news about your classmates, about your program, about everything. So do make sure that your program, your class starts. Can you guys hear me? Because it's written that my connection is unstable. Yes?
We can
Okay.
now. Yeah. It's all good, Nicole.
Yeah, my 10th point is become student voice leader. I was a student voice leader of my class. I still am the voice leader of my class. It's actually fun, and you get to collect your classmates' opinions about university, about what they expect from their studies, what they actually want to change, what they want to achieve, and you get to tell, and you get to take this information and send it to university leaders so that we can make the university better, so that they can also improve your studies, or they can improve, or they would listen to your opinions and they would make a change to something that you don't like, and they will make it better. So you become a student voice leader in a few first weeks. There's going to be your class manager is going to ask whether you want to be a student voice leader. There's nothing to worry about. It's very easy. It's very fun. You actually get to interact with people. And if you want to develop some confidence, if you want to become more confident, if you want to become more extroverted, you can just try doing it because you get to interact with more people. And then apply for an Oyster card and other discounts. So as David said, there's a MOVIDO that I guess helps you applying for Oyster card or something like that. But so Oyster card is a card which you use in London or in the United Kingdom to on bus or on the tube. Well, to be honest, student Oyster card didn't help me much because actually it takes the same amount as a normal Oyster card, so I didn't see the difference much between the student Oyster card and the normal Oyster card. So, but basically all you have to do is either apply for the student cards online, or you can just buy a normal Oyster card, I believe, in the tube. So there's no big difference. But MOVIDO starter pack, I guess it helps with those basic things. You don't have to worry about those things anymore. Next slide, please. Just a few things to explore at MDX. So once you get started, once you enrolled, once university starts, please join Middlesex sports teams because they're very fun and there's so many of them. So there's a cricket team, football team, there's tennis team, there's so much chess. If you're not that sporty, there's everything you can think of. Middlesex actually has it. To be honest, I'm not sure about this year, but is there? But I guess there will be sports this year because for me, I was a bit unlucky. There wasn't sports teams that much last year, but let's see how it goes. Secondly, you can volunteer and work for a Middlesex University, for example, like we are doing now because we are students as well, and we are just helping out. We are we are giving tips to future students. We are participating in different events, and this is also a fun thing to do and also a thing to develop your inner confidence. And there was other extracurricular courses, like maybe you could join languages courses because this year we had Spanish, we had Italian classes. So it's not only sports, it's lots of other varieties, things you could do at Middlesex. There's dance team or, for example, public speaking team. So it's not only about sports, it's about any interest that you have. Middlesex usually supports everything you can do. And so you get to explore lots of things, especially in the first days when I joined Middlesex. I saw the list of things you could do. I wanted to join everything I can. I didn't know, I just signed up for everything I could. And tried to attend networking events, for example, like this one. Well, there's lots of other events. For example, there's ice-breaking activities that David mentioned, where you get actually to meet each other, you get to meet other students, you get to meet everything you can, because we have a small speed meeting sessions where we meet in small groups, even online, and we meet each other and we talk to each other. It's very fun. So try to participate in everything you can, because making friends, making connections is especially important while you can. Okay, thank you guys. This were my small tips for today, and your questions, we'll be answering them now. Please use the chat box and we will try to reply to everything we can.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for all of those, Nicole. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for the PowerPoint presentation. I'm seeing lots more questions coming in the chat, which is fantastic. What I'm going to do, just to give kind of Masha and Nicole some time to answer some of those questions in the chat, I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to show you what the student website UniHub looks like and just navigate around to a few of the pages that we referenced. So if you just bear with me for 1 second whilst I share my screen again, and this time I'll be able to show you the UniHub website so that you can kind of see how it all looks. So I think that can be seen by people again now. I've shared this, you can see kind of the student website. So this is what UniHub looks like. It's very easy to remember URL. It's just unihub.mdx.ac.uk. And as I said, this is the website that has all the core information that you'll need as part of your studies at the university. So right here at the top here, you can search for anything you want to look for. And there's also a button right here, which can take you to the welcome checklist that we talked about. So this is the page that has all the information that can help new students about kind of where to go to enroll, all of those details, etc. If I just go back, apologies, I've got just need to move my screen a little bit so I can see the back tab thing. Actually, if I go to the next tab, I can go through just the main pages that you can access. So also within the welcome section, here's the international orientation page that I mentioned. So this has the details about events and activities that are running for international students, details about kind of visa and stuff before you come to the UK. And then down here at the bottom is the booking form so that you can book on for all of the different events that you want to attend. As I said, there's lots of different online ones that are mainly happening in that week of the 13th of September, and then events which are happening throughout the rest of the term, kind of around the UK. Some of these we might move around a little bit in terms of dates, just because we want to make sure that as many students as possible can come to them, etc. So that's the international orientation page, and that's just within the student life section. And then if I go to the next tab, I've already covered the welcome checklist. Here's the Ready for Anything page. Again, you can get to it from the main homepage of the website. And this is where you can book on for the activities that are taking place between now and the start of the term. Really recommend you book onto those. It might be that if you're still in your home country, then you can't come to the on-campus events, but that's fine. There's still lots more of those that will happen when term starts. And there are lots of great online events that you can already start booking onto to meet other new students. And again, you can just book onto them right from the start here using this form. You can book on for as many as you want. And then the other thing I just wanted to show you is this is the MOVIDO website we referenced. So if you just go to the URL that we had in the PowerPoint presentation, you just go-MOVIDO and then add in the MDX promo code, and that's how you can access that. So, the other thing, if I just, apologies, I just need to go back to the UNIHUB page. And then if I go back to the home page, if I just show you at the top here, this is the button for My UNIHUB. So if you click on that, that's how you get onto My UNIHUB to log in for anything that you might need. And then if I go back again, on the right-hand side of any page on the UNIHUB website, actually, if you go to support, here's how you can find UniHelp. So just under support and wellbeing and UniHelp, that's where you can go to find and get in contact. You could do live chat or submit a query, or you can phone them. Lots of different ways to get in touch so that you can get support from the university. So yeah, it's all here on the student website. As I said, it's a really easy place to find everything in one. Here's the button right on the homepage about how to access the Ready for Anything program as well. So yeah, hopefully you can all find it all there really easily. And yeah, here's the little green chat with us button that I referenced, just this one here. It brings up chat, so you can type in your question and that'll go to one of our advisors. So just thought I'd spend a minute showing you what that looks like. I'll stop sharing my screen again. And we'll start going to any questions which have come through on the chat that we haven't already covered. Masha or Nicole, are there any that you've seen come through that we haven't responded to yet that would be good to answer?
I sent some to you directly.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, yeah. So let me just go through the ones that you sent through to me and I'll answer them. So let's see, you sent through a question, what time does enrolment open? So that opens on Wednesday, the 1st of September. So it's next Wednesday. It'll open from any time in that day. So if by that point you've been sent your login details, you can go to the UNIHUB website and enroll as we talked about there. What day is the induction day? So that will depend on your program of study. So what you need to do is, it'll usually be sometime in the week of the 20th of September. For most programs, that's the week it'll be in. But what you need to do is you need to log into either My UNIHUB or MDXAPP with the login details that we've referenced already. If you're having any issues logging in, the fastest way to resolve it is just to message UniHelp using the live chat function on the UNIHUB website and just say, I can't log in, I don't know my details, and they'll be able to get them for you and kind of send them to you really quickly. So once you've logged into My UNIHUB or MDXAPP, in there you can see your full welcome schedule, which tells you when your induction day or days, because sometimes programs have the induction across multiple days, so you can see them in there. Is 20th September a deadline, or will we have extra days? So most program inductions this year are going to take place online. So even if you're not in the UK yet by the 20th when your induction takes place, it's still really important that you attend wherever you are. You will be able to get information from your program team if you miss your induction, but you'll miss out on the opportunity to kind of meet them, you know, properly face to face, to be in the Zoom chat or whatever you kind of group online with other new students as well. So we really recommend you attending your program induction. Let's see, just looking through for any other further questions that you tagged me in, Masha. Here we go. Regarding UNIHUB, there were recurring issues related to changing the password. It kept showing an error or something. Could you elaborate on what we could do? So if you're having any issues with regards to changing your password or logging in, it's a technical system. You know, unfortunately, sometimes there are IT issues, but luckily there is a whole team dedicated to solving any IT issues at the university. So if you are having an issue changing your password or logging in, as I said, just get in contact with UniHelp. The fastest way to do that is through the live chat functionality on the website. Just tell them what you're struggling with, and they'll either be able to sort it for you or reset the password And it will just happen much quicker than like submitting a ticket, which then goes away to them and they'll email you back. You can do that if you want, but we recommend live chat to get the fastest result. The next one I've been tagged in, Italy doesn't allow major online payments. So is there a way to do a bank transfer? I'm not sure about that one myself, actually. So I'm not based on the finance side of things. So maybe we can just take that question and we'll try and get another team member to provide an answer, and then we can include that when we send over the PowerPoint. So that's the question about how to do bank transfers if online payments are difficulty. And I think that's all of the questions that I've been tagged in. With regard, oh, sorry, yeah. Do we have any more coming through, Masha or Nicole?
I guess there are 2 new questions at the end of the chat from Sunny and Ali.
Oh, yes. So Sunny asks, what about quarantine facilities? So for most situations now in the UK, if you do unfortunately test positive for coronavirus for COVID-19, we recommend that you just stay at home and you quarantine there. And then if you're feeling really unwell, that's when you then contact the NHS, who can then advise you on kind of emergency or A&E support for health. What the university does, it's really important if you do test positive to get in touch with the university and kind of let us know as soon as possible. What I'm going to just really quickly do is get from, at the top of every UNIHUB page, there is a little bar that says COVID-19 latest frequently asked questions and information. So you can find that from any page on the website. It's really important that you check that every now and again just to see if there's been any updates or anything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab from that page the email address that you should use. Actually, it's a form that you should complete if you do contract coronavirus. So I'll just share a link to that overall page into the chat so that you can see it. And then within that page, there's a section of frequently asked questions. And there's one about what should I do if I develop COVID-19 symptoms. And there's one that gives you a link to a form you can fill in to tell the university. We'll then get in touch with support, etc., to help you in that circumstance. Ali's question, can you show how to access your email? Do we have access to it now? So you need to enroll before you'll get access to your student email. So you can log into My UniHub and MDXAPP now, which is fantastic. But you'll only actually get your university email itself once you've enrolled, which, as we said, you can do from Wednesday, the 1st of September. So that's next week. So basically just try and enroll as quickly as you can. As Masha and Nicole both wonderfully showed, there are lots of benefits and advantages which you only get access to once you enroll. So we just recommend that you do that as quickly as you can once it opens next Wednesday. And then one last question which has come through from Rakesh. Are there any routes through the university to book the mandatory COVID tests during the self-isolation period for students coming from ambulance countries and isolating in halls of residence? So what I'll do is I'll just find a link that we do have on the university website that has details about that. In fact, you can see on that same link that I posted through just a second ago. So on that link I said, which is the UNIHUB link, COVID-19 updates FAQ. Near the very top of that page on the right-hand side, there's a whole section about PCR or hotel quarantine that you might need to do from some countries and how you can apply to get reimbursement for those. So all the details are on that page and they'll be able to articulate it in more detail than I can right here. So just click on that link and then check the details within that section on the right about PCR and hotel quarantine. I did see one question earlier on about the university and whether we provide tests to you or whether you're expected to get them yourselves. So obviously there's the tests which you're expected to do based on which country you're coming to the UK from before and after you travel. But then, as I was saying earlier in the presentation, we generally ask students to complete a home test, which is called a rapid lateral flow test, which is really, well, it's one you can do at home, kind of just yourselves. And you can order packs of those from the NHS website. Basically, as soon as you've arrived in the UK, or when you've got your new address that you're going to be moving to once you arrive in the UK, if you just search on Google for NHS home test kit or rapid lateral flow test, it will pull up a link for how you can order them for yourself completely free. You can get a pack of 7 of those and then you can just use them every few days or so before you come to campus to check yourself and know that you're kind of okay. Just seen the last question in there from Muzzamil about CAS letter. That very much depends on the admissions team, so I can't answer that one just because I'm not an expert in that area. But if you do get in touch with admissions about your own situation, that's probably the best way to work out how long kind of the CAS letter will take for you. I think we've answered all the questions that have come through. So I'll say a big thank you. Yeah, sorry, Victoria, I've just seen one there. So for any questions about CAS or visa, etc., it's best you get in touch with the admissions team that kind of are already handling your own personal situation with regards to the application. I'm afraid I can't answer anything because I'm not sure from my team's perspective. We only look after supporting students kind of from the enrollment process onwards.
Yeah, I've been in contact with them, but I've been struggling a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah. May I say something? So when I was applying for Middlesex last year, I was struggling with my CAS letter as well, and because it was the time when the COVID pandemic was the most spreading. It took me, I don't know why, but it actually took me 2 months to get my CAS letter. But I guess this year it's a bit more calm, and I guess they will issue them much faster. But what I did and what I would recommend is just keep emailing them every 10 days, reminding of yourself that you're waiting for this CAS letter. So maybe you'll feel calmer when they say yes. So when they reply, you're saying yes, we will issue it in a week or in 10 days. At least you will know that they didn't forget about you and that you're getting your CAS letter soon.
Okay, personally, I have my CAS letter. Today I was working on my online application, but I've encountered a few problems. I mean, on the website it's described in a certain way, and then when I went on the UK government, it's not called Tier 4 anymore, it's just student visa. They ask me different questions and I'm not getting a clear reply. So like I was looking for someone with a bit of experience to talk to, you know, also because I'm Italian, and for me, it's just weird now to apply for a visa to the UK because I never needed one. So yeah.
That makes sense, Victoria. Maybe if you privately share, just if I'm not sure if you're able to, if you're privately able to message us your email address, then we can kind of like check with the team to get kind of back to you who can support you on it.
Yeah, I've emailed every team possible and access the chat and the WhatsApp number, like everything. I'm just waiting for a clear reply from somebody that knows something. Yeah.
I'm not sure if you have the functionality to privately message us your email address, but then we can kind of just...
Oh yeah, I can, absolutely.
Brilliant. Yeah, if you do that, then that means, there we go. Yeah, Fanny's just said if you can message her your email, then we can put you straight in touch with a relevant team member who can hopefully get back to you faster than the kind of the way you've been contacted so far. But thank you for asking that, and hopefully we can get that sorted.
Thank you.
No worries at all. Thank you very much, everyone else, for all of your wonderful questions and joining us today. We're going to pop a quick poll in a minute, which would be really great if you could take a minute to answer that. And if we missed anything, then please do get in touch